Hi everyone, it's Christina from Citybrightknits, and I'm here with Marmalade today, and we're going to be telling you about this really neat event that we just went to, sponsoring the Better Home and Garden cookbook. So the cookbook is celebrating its 100-year anniversary of being a cookbook, and I can't wait to dive in and show you this little like swag bag I got from the Red Plaid Café here in New York City. It's this event that they hosted. It was like a one-day only thing, and I can't wait to I just want to debunk with you. I want to give you all of the details and explain why I'm so excited. So please join me.
So my grandmother's original cookbook from 1965 has always been something that I cherished and was passed down to me. And so when I had the opportunity to go to this Better Homes and Gardens event here in New York City, I couldn't wait. It was just set up like a vintage cafe. They were celebrating the 100 years of the cookbook. So it was a great opportunity to meet other like-minded people. And we had a great conversation with Craig Conover and Sarah Fennell about the mini homestead movement and what crafting means today in 2025. It was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of people who are like-minded in crafting, as well as I got an interesting little swag bag, which I am going to go through one by one with you here from what the great sponsors gave out to everybody. Spoiler alert, I got a new cookbook, but I'm also going to be sharing that conversation with Craig Conover, so be sure to catch that all the way at the end. All right, let's get into it.
Hi everyone, Christina here from Citybrightknits. Today I have something special to share with you. I went to this really neat event hosted by Better Home and Garden, and it is for their Red Plaid Café. I'm going to do a little explanation of the event, what it has to do with crafting and fabrics and yarns, and also do a little unboxing of what is inside this swag bag. I want to talk to you about the wonderful conversation that went on today with the two keynote speakers. So the way that this Red Plaid Cafe worked is that each hour and a half there was a different speaker, and the one that I signed up for was actually a coffee and chat, and it was with Craig Conover and moderated by Sarah Fennell. Sarah Fennell has a cookbook, and Craig Conover has his sewing line, that Sewing Down South. And it was really interesting just to hear these personalities talking about their experience with crafts and really doing things at home, doing things that are meaningful not only to you as a person, but it's meaningful to the whole family. Crafts are usually something that you do together, or if it's something that you do by yourself, other people in your home get to experience it. So yeah, I knit this sweater by myself, but I got to wear it out in the world. Other people got to see it. I got compliments. It's a great color, things like that. If I crochet a blanket, I get to use it at home. People get to use it and cuddle up with, or it's potentially a gift or something like this. So just this return to small moments really is something that's so special. We don't all have to get caught up in this big city world, especially living here in New York City where this was hosted. It's just so nice to touch base and come back down to earth with a lot of other people who are also keeping these core traditional values alive, right? So one of the key things that he brought up was just if you haven't learned to craft or to bake or to sew or to knit, whatever it is earlier in your life, that's okay. Your grandmother didn't have to teach you. Well, that might be the story for a lot of us. My grandmother personally taught me how to sew, but it's something that you can revisit as an adult. There's no time like the present just to have this personalized moment of learning how to craft. And craft kind of comes into your day-to-day, whether you are embellishing an outfit or gifting something to somebody, or maybe it could be as small as writing a piece of stationery and you put a little doodle on it or something like that. Everybody crafts at some level. So this was just all interesting to have this conversation today. And one of the main things that he talked about was just this mini return to homestead moment. Return to the small things, return to the quiet, the peace that comes with using your hands and producing something that has just so much intention into it. And this is a conversation that I wasn't expecting to have at this cookbook launch today, but it was just so nice to see that I don't work in the industry, I don't work in the food industry, although fun fact, I used to. But it was interesting to see how this can relate to crochet and knitting, and something that I actually do day to day and love to share with you. So it was just like an all-encompassing moment. I'm really happy that I attended and went to the conversation roundtable chat that I went to. And I can't wait to hear what other people's experiences were from the different people that they had speaking and leading their sessions. And it was really great to have the opportunity to meet some other people who are also in New York City with similar interests to me, as well as to be gifted all of this wonderful swag.
Okay, I'm going to be going one by one and showing you what's inside the swag bag, but I'm also going to include the special conversation with Craig Conover all the way at the end, so be sure to catch that.
And why this is so special to me is because they're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of their cookbook, which I think a lot of us probably had on our shelves in our house growing up, just this like very familiar like red plaid motif. My grandmother left me her original Better Home and Garden cookbook, and this cookbook has like seen the days. It has seen the love. It is from 1965, as best I can tell from the information on the inside, and it is so old and like retro. It has all of these like original photos and like how to serve pies, how to carve eggs. It just has all these like special instructions. It is so like just retro. It even has that old book smell. I just love it. This is just like such a cherished memory for me. Everything's in black and white for the most part because it is from the 60s, but they just have all of these, here's a colored photo of just like old desserts, and it's just like such a throwback vibe. And this was my grandmother's, so it's just so special to me to see like, just to have those memories. And I'm sure we all have those memories growing up with cookbooks. They're just like so related to the home and the family and generations, and it's just something that you can feel and experience and learn from. So this is an actual cookbook of mine from Better Homes and Gardens, the 1960s. It was my grandmother's. So this event that I attended today was giving away in their swag bag. I was so excited to get their brand new 100th anniversary edition of their cookbook. So this is gonna be mine. It's gonna be brand new. It's like, it hasn't even been opened yet. I'm opening it right now for the first time with you. So it is brand spanking new. And even in here, they're doing like kind of a then and now theme, a look back and forward at all of their recipes. So this is such like a cool thing to experience, and it just has such pretty pages that are glossy with like beautiful photographs and just like some interesting new things like stir fry bowls and sushi, like all of these kind of modern things that you certainly wouldn't have seen in the 1960s version of this cookbook. And so that's what they're celebrating. That's what this includes inside. It is like quite chunky and thick. This is a $34.99 cookbook, so really affordable and attainable for anybody. And I'm just so happy to have one this year and to be placing it on my shelf right next to my grandmother's. And I just have like both editions now, and I'm just so excited. But let's get to what's inside of this swag bag. So let me start off by sharing some of the wonderful sponsors that are included in this. It's Hellman's Food Brand, McCormick, Dove, Black and Gold Roast Coffee, Sherwin-Williams, and Command Hooks, and Glad. All of these are included inside of this bag, so let's dive in. I'm doing it right now for the first time with you. So it's a canvas bag, and they were sweet enough to embroider a little New York emblem onto each bag, so you kind of got to choose. I chose a hot dog, which I just thought was so cute and funny. They also had a pigeon, they had a New York taxi cab, they had a New York apple. I'm not sure what else they had. They didn't have a pretzel, but they just had like a bunch of New York stuff on there, so it's commemorative of the day. And let's dive right in. So the cookbook was already in there. This is an apron, which I am very happy to say is from Craig Conover's line called Sewing Down South. So it's a commemorative apron. It says Sewing Down South here. His company is based in Charleston, and it's in a collaboration with Better Homes and Gardens. So it has this like red and white classic motif, but also their little emblem here for Better Homes and Gardens and Sewing Down South. And Craig Conover is somebody who is is on TV, and he's in a show called Southern Charm, for those of you who might know it. And he lives in Charleston, North Carolina, and he came up today to have a conversation talking about like his experience with crafting and like why he got into the sewing business that he has and some of his celebrity experience being on TV. So it was really cool talking about like all things from like modern, you would see it on TV and social media, all the way to something you might do at home, like learning how to sew, learning how to crochet or bake or this kind of thing. So I'm really excited to use this like commemorative apron. It matches so well with the cookbook. What do we think? There is a baseball cap in here from Pop-Up Bagels. It says not famous but known, and it's from Pop-Up Bagels. They did different flavored bagels. So they had plain salt and sesame, and it was with a homemade schmear that they had, as well as some other little treats. They had from the Red Plaid Café. You got to select a little treat, and they've included a recipe for mulled apple cider monkey bread bites. How like yummy does that sound? So a little recipe here, and the monkey bread bites, which is in here, is like so yummy looking. Can't wait to try that later. And a little recipe, I wasn't expecting that. That's like kind of new and exciting. They have little pumpkin spice caramel popcorn takeaways that are like so cute. They have a little flower bouquet that we all got. I already have put that in a jar with water, and so that's in the other room. Let's see what else the sponsors have put in this bag. So a Better Home and Garden magazine, which is going to be like awesome to flip through, especially this time of year in the autumn, where they have a lot of like cozy crumbly muffins on the front. That looks so good. So a magazine to flip through with inspiration on home interiors and recipes of the moment, little cozy fall favorites, smart tips, things like that. So a little magazine to go along with the cookbook. There is an Explore Charleston book in here for travel, and that's really interesting. You can spend the holidays in different holiday packages and planning in South Carolina and Charleston, someplace I actually have never been, but Craig Conover is from there, so I guess that's why this is included. But it's a nice little like informational book, and I have never been there, but he said that it is a city you can really make your own. It is like a small town but a big city, and all of the buildings are like small, shorter than the tallest church steeple in the town. And he said that it's like true to its southern roots, so like everybody's kind of like well dressed and well mannered and will like want to know your name, but at the same time you don't have to get all up in everybody's business. And it could also be like a surf town, and these are some things I remember him saying about Charleston, so that's interesting. If you've ever been to Charleston, maybe pop a comment down below. Sherwin-Williams was one of the sponsors, so they have included a plaque of universal khaki, and it is a peel and stick sample, which is actually kind of interesting. I think I could actually use this for my crochet and knitting as like a background to maybe put some granny squares on when I'm taking photos. And the color on this is like really great. It's called Universal Khaki. Really interesting. I guess you could try it as a wall color. However, I think I'm going to use that for crochet. We got these interesting little wristbands that just say Better Home and Gardens. That was kind of like our entry into the event. Next up in this bag is sponsored by Command Hook. So it looks like there's a whole bunch of different size hooks in here, which is great, especially for the holidays, like, you know, when you need to tack up some garland or some lights or something. So this is just like a set of different size hooks and clamps, and you can see different ways to use them here. Like, how useful is that? Like, I was just using some command hooks actually because I was taking some Etsy photos, and I like to just hang them against a crisp wall, and so that's actually perfect for me in the crochet and knitting world. Okay, and getting down to the bottom of the bag, they have included some goodies. From McCormick, they have an English toffee finishing sugar. I've never even seen this, but it looks so good. It's a limited edition, and I really love like an apple pie. So I think putting this finishing sugar on like a warm crust would be just like to die for. That sounds so good. As well as some Black and Bold coffee. I'm actually gonna like pop this in the fridge so it's cold when I try it, but that one's new for me. I've never tried this cold brew, so that's like such a great combination. And the last thing that's in this bag is actually, one of the sponsors is Dove. So let's see what Dove has popped in here for their goodies. Okay, cinnamon pumpkin pie body wash. This sounds so good right now. Like, ooh, okay, that's so good. Like, it's so cinnamony and pumpkiny. That sounds like a dream. I was actually just noticing in the shower I'm running out of body wash, so this is absolutely perfect. And my favorite candle right now is actually like a pumpkin bourbon, so this is just like gonna be so great to use. Thank you, Dove, for that. And then it's full size too. This is 20 fluid ounces. Can't beat that. As well as, let's see what else. How cool is this? A tinted lip balm. I've never even tried this brand. It's called Spice, a 90s play on our hero tinted lip balm. This sounds like so good. Is it Lano Lips? I don't know that I've ever even like tried this. Let me open this up and see. Ooh, okay, so the color looks like actually dark, but I'm gonna guess that it's not as dark as it looks putting it on. It's like a tinted lip balm and it just squirts out. Oh, it's like thick and hydrating. Let's see. This is actually like, oh, it has a little like vanilla cherry cola flavor. It's pretty good. Okay, that's very nice. And the last thing in here, which is probably why the bag was kind of heavy, it's a sweet little candle called Noble Fir and Pine, and it's Better Homes and Gardens edition on the top. That is so sweet. It is a wax blend of fir needle, pine sap, cedar herb, and holly scent. Those are such pretty notes for a candle. I can't wait to get started with this, especially going into the holidays. I think I'll probably feature it in the background of a few of my crochet photos. So I love that all of these things, while even like brands that we use day to day, are just like something that I can include in my like craft and hobby. And that's like really exciting. So that's everything that's in this bag. I can't wait to use the cookbook and the apron and the body wash and the candle and everything else. This is just gonna be like, it's gonna be so awesome. So thanks for giving me your ear for a little bit. I hope that this entertained you in some way, and also share with me if you are familiar with the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. Like, let me know maybe your favorite recipe, because I gotta dive in and try this. Or if you are lucky enough to have a special edition like me from the 1960s, let me know what you think. Anyways, have a good one, everyone. If you liked this, give me a follow, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment for me. Talk to you later.
Join me for the conversation we had with Craig Conover talking about sewing and crochet and crafting. It was really interesting.
Well, I had so many plans that I obviously said no to crochet after school. But can you tell us a little bit, did you grow up sewing with someone? What was your inspiration for getting into sewing?
So I was fortunate that when I went to school, I grew up in Delaware, everyone, no matter what sport you played or what your hobbies were, everyone took home ec and everyone took tech ed. So half the year you spent learning how to cook, and then the other half you learned how to sew. I leave my garden behind my workshop, but I still had my sewing machine. And I thought I was going to make clothes, but I had never been taught how to make clothes, and it's very difficult. But I remembered how to make a pillow from home ec. And so I just started to watch YouTube videos and started to sew again. And I just got that same euphoric feeling of creating and making. And now we try to break down a lot of invisible barriers that people have to crafting and making things with their hands, where they're like, oh, my grandmother didn't teach me, so I guess I'll just never know how to sew. Or I don't have an old machine, so I can't sew or I can't craft. And recently I've gotten into quilting, which I didn't know how to do, but it's really just sewing a bunch of pieces of small fabric together.
Okay, you say it's just, but like it's very precise.
But it's like, so that's what's funny. I overthought it for 2 years as people was like, oh, or people were like, do you quilt? I was like, I don't know how. Someone taught me, and now it's easy. But I made my first baby blanket for someone, and I gifted it to them, and they cried, you know? And then she punched me. It was Madison. Madison punched me. Because we were filming, and she was in full makeup, a girl on my show. But I just, I love Amazon and Instacart and ordering stuff when I need it, but there is something really cool about making things yourself.
Yeah.
And I like this mini homesteading movement, like micro homesteading. Like, you don't have to bake all of your bread.
so nice about being able to make something with your hands, and it's so meditative too.
Well, but it's, it's intimidating to a lot of people to start. And so what I try to show is that I never really know what I'm doing with things, but I've got pretty strong ADD and I get hyper passionate about new hobbies, and you can look up anything on the internet and start to teach yourself. And I think, just try it one day, and it's easier than you think. Because baking's intimidating too.
Oh, it's so intimidating. And I mean, and I think if you follow me, you know that I mess up all the time in the kitchen, but that's just part of things. And I think breaking down those barriers is so important for people to see, so I love that. That's great.
I figured out that I anchor a lot of my designs in nostalgia. I was fortunate that when I was growing up, I have a lot of memories from my childhood that just make me happy, from my grandparents or parents. And so with every pillow that we make, we try to evoke a reaction or an emotion. And so by putting a simple holiday pillow on your couch, maybe that brings you back to a simpler time, a time in your childhood. And I think it's okay to look back. Obviously times evolve and change, but there's a coziness and a safeness about the holidays when you're growing up. For a lot of people, I mean, some people weren't that fortunate, but we design to those emotions. So we try to make it a little more modern with velvets and use some different fabrics, but I think they're fun.
Wow. Okay, so speaking of holidays, you recently partnered with the Emmeline Hotel.
I did.
Is that right? And you did some sewing down south stuff in a suite there.
Yeah, you can stay in the Sewing Down South suite. It's very Home Alone style.
I love that.
With a hot chocolate card, you get a list of things. Basically, I give you an itinerary to do in Charleston.
Oh, that's great.
And I think there might be something where I do pick you up on a golf cart. There's tooth fairy pillows for people.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah. Sorry. It's so much weirder when I say it in front of people. But for people that are having their first child, we make a tooth fairy pillow. You have to make it by hand. So it's a big deal.
Why do you have to make it by hand? Because it's so
We just haven't figured out how to do it in our pillow factory yet.
Nice. Oh my god, a pillow factory.
Which is in Beaufort, South Carolina, which is only an hour from Charleston.
And last, what is your favorite thing you've ever created for sewing down south?
Any of our charitable pillows. So after Hurricane Dorian, we did a Bahamian lobster, and we were able to raise $100,000 in a week for hurricane relief. And we try to do something like that anytime something unfortunate happens. So I think our philanthropic pillows are really fun. It gives people a reason, an excuse to buy a pillow. And it feels good. So I think the New York line I did